The deep space around Kepler 442 seemed empty and quiet. The human exploration ship Terra's Pride moved slowly through the dark void, its blue engines glowing softly. Captain Sarah Chun sat in her command chair, watching the stars on the main screen. "Captain, I'm getting strange readings," said Officer Jung-hoon from his station. His fingers moved quickly over the controls. "There's something big hiding behind that asteroid field." Sarah leaned forward. She had been exploring space for 10 years, and she knew when something felt wrong. "What kind of readings?" "Metal signatures. Lots of them. And they're not natural." Jung-hoon turned to look at her. "I think we're not alone out here." Before Sarah could answer, the space around them began to change. Huge ships appeared from nowhere, like ghosts becoming real. They were dark and strange, covered in sharp edges and glowing red lights. The alien ships formed a circle around Terra's Pride, trapping them. "Captain," shouted Min Jun from the communications station, "we're getting a message." It's not human." The main screen flickered and changed. A tall, thin alien appeared. Its skin was gray and smooth, with large black eyes that seemed to see everything. When it spoke, its voice was cold and proud. "I am Commander Zex of the Zarkonian Empire," the alien said. "You have entered our space without permission. Your ship will surrender now." Sarah stood up slowly. She was not afraid, but she was careful. Around her, the bridge crew watched and waited. Chan knew that Min Jun was at the weapons station, and Co Yan was ready at the engines. "I am Captain Sarah Chun of Earth," she said clearly. "We are explorers, not enemies. We didn't know this was your space." Commander Zex made a sound that might have been laughter, but it was not friendly. "Humans, we have heard of your kind. You are young and weak. You think you can travel anywhere you want." The alien leaned forward, its black eyes staring at Sarah. "Your technology is simple. Your weapons are basic. You cannot fight us." More alien ships appeared around them. Sarah counted 12 large warships, each one bigger than Terra's Pride. The Zarkonian ships had weapons that glowed with dangerous energy. "We have trapped many ships like yours," Zex continued. "Some tried to fight. Some tried to run. All of them failed. Your ship will become part of our fleet, and your crew will serve us." Sarah's hands stayed steady, but inside, her mind was working fast. She looked at her crew. Jung-hoon was checking the sensors. Min Jun was ready at communications. Co Yan had her hands on the engine controls. "You make a mistake," Sarah said to the alien commander. "You think you know humans, but you don't know us at all." Commander Zex tilted its head. "What could you possibly do? You are one small ship against 12 warships. You are trapped. There is no escape." Sarah smiled, but it was not a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who knew a secret. "Commander Zex, you said you've trapped ships before, but you've never trapped a human ship, have you?" The alien's eyes narrowed. "It does not matter. Your species is no different from the others." "That's where you're wrong," Sarah said. She turned to her crew. "Jung-hoon, show them our real engine readings." Jung-hoon's fingers flew over his controls. Suddenly, the Terra's Pride began to glow brighter. The ship's engines changed from blue to white-hot. Energy readings shot up on all the alien ships. Commander Zex stepped back. "What are you doing?" Sarah's smile grew wider. "Something you didn't expect. You see, Commander, you made one big mistake. You thought this was our main ship." The alien commander's face showed confusion and then fear. "What do you mean?" "I mean," Sarah said, "that humans don't just build exploration ships. We build exploration ships that can become something else when they need to. Jung-hoon, show them what we really are." The hull of Terra's Pride began to change. Armor plates moved and shifted. Hidden weapon ports opened. The simple exploration ship transformed into something much more dangerous. Impossible, whispered Commander ZEX. Sarah nodded to her crew. CO Yan, full power to all systems. Min Jun, open a channel to Earth Command. Jung Hoon, target their lead ships. Captain, Jung Hoon said with excitement in his voice. All systems are ready. Sarah looked at the alien commander on the screen. Commander Zex, you wanted to trap a human ship. Congratulations. You just found out what happens when you corner something that doesn't want to be caged. The Terra's pride powered up to full combat mode. The trap was about to become something very different. Commander Zex stared at the transformed human ship in shock. The Terra's pride no longer looked like a simple exploration vessel. Heavy armor covered its hull, and multiple weapon systems had emerged from hidden compartments. The ship's energy signature had tripled in seconds. How is this possible? Zex demanded, his voice losing its calm tone. Captain Sarah Chun stood confidently on her bridge. You studied our old ships, didn't you? The ones from 50 years ago. You thought all human vessels were the same. Jung Hoon looked up from his station with a grin. Captain, their ships are moving closer. They're trying to surround us tighter. Let them, Sarah said calmly. SAO, Yan, how are our engines? Running at full capacity, Captain, CO Yan replied. We can outrun any of their ships now. Sarah turned back to the screen where Commander Zex was frantically giving orders to his crew. You see, Commander, humans learn from our mistakes. Every time we meet a new species, we get better. The Zarkonian ships began charging their weapons. Red energy built up along their hulls, creating an ominous glow in the darkness of space. You may have better weapons now, Zex snarled, but you are still outnumbered 12-1. Surrender, or we will destroy you. Sarah looked at Min Jun. Any word from Earth Command? Min Jun shook his head. We're too far out, Captain. It will take hours for any message to reach them. Then we handle this ourselves, Sarah said. She activated the ship's internal communication system. All hands, this is the captain. We are in combat situation. Prepare for battle maneuvers. Throughout the ship, the crew of Terra's Pride moved quickly to their positions. In the engineering section, Chief Engineer Zircon checked the power systems. In the weapons bay, teams loaded the newly revealed missile tubes. Captain, Jung Hoon called out, I'm detecting something strange about their formation. What do you mean? Jung Hoon studied his readings carefully. They're positioned like they're used to fighting ships that can't move fast. Their formation has blind spots. Sarah nodded. This was exactly what she hoped to hear. Human ships are different, aren't they, Jung Hoon? Very different, Captain. Commander Zex appeared on the screen again. This is your last warning, human. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Sarah smiled. Commander, I have a question for you. In all the ships you've captured before, how many of them could do this? She nodded to So Yayan, who pushed several controls forward. Suddenly, the Terra's Pride shot forward at incredible speed, moving so fast it seemed to disappear. The Zarkonian ships fired their weapons, but they hit only empty space. The human ship had moved faster than their targeting systems could track. Impossible. Zex shouted. No ship can move that fast. The Terra's Pride reappeared behind the alien formation. Sarah's voice came over their communication system, calm and confident. Human ships can, Commander. We build them to be fast because we learned something important. Sometimes the best way to win a fight is to not be where your enemy expects you to be. Jung Hoon was working frantically at his station. Captain, I'm scanning their ships while we're behind them. Their armor is weaker at the rear engines. Perfect. Min Jun, target the rear engine sections of the closest 3 ships. Don't destroy them. Just disable their movement. Targeting now, Captain. Min Jun replied. The Terra's Pride fired precise shots at the alien ships. The weapons weren't meant to destroy, but to disable. 3 Zarkonian ships lost power to their engines and began drifting. Commander Zex appeared on screen again, and now his confident expression was gone. You could have destroyed those ships. Why didn't you? Sarah's expression became serious. Because humans don't destroy things unless we have to, Commander. We're explorers, remember? We prefer to solve problems without killing. The remaining 9 alien ships turned to face the human vessel, but the Terra's Pride was already moving again. It danced between the larger ships, too fast for them to target effectively. This is not how battles are supposed to work. Zex declared angrily. Maybe not your battles, Sarah replied. But human battles are different. We don't just use bigger guns or more ships. We use our minds. Sioyan looked up from her station. Captain, we're receiving a signal. It's not from the aliens. Sarah raised an eyebrow. What kind of signal? It's human, Captain. Multiple human signals. Coming this way fast. Sarah's smile returned. How long until they arrive? 15 minutes, Captain. Sarah looked at the image of Commander Zex. Commander, I think you're about to learn something else about humans. We don't travel alone. Asterisk. Commander Zex's large black eyes widened as he processed what Captain Chun had just said. Other human ships? That's impossible. Our scouts reported only 1 vessel in this sector. Sarah leaned back in her captain's chair, looking relaxed despite being surrounded by hostile alien warships. Your scouts weren't looking hard enough, Commander. Humans learned a long time ago that traveling alone in unknown space is dangerous. Jung-hoon looked up from his sensor station with excitement. Captain, I'm reading 5 ships approaching fast. They're running silent. No wonder the aliens missed them. Only 5 ships? Zex laughed, but it sounded forced. Even with reinforcements, you are still outnumbered. Numbers aren't everything, Sarah replied calmly. Min-jun, open a channel to the incoming fleet. The main screen split to show a new face, Captain Chun's old friend, Captain Lisa Park of the Earth's Hammer. Her ship was a heavy cruiser, built for combat. Sarah, looks like you found some trouble out here, Lisa said with a grin. Nothing we can't handle, Lisa. What's your ETA? 12 minutes. We brought some friends. The screen changed to show more captains. Captain Rodriguez of the fast attack ship Lightning Strike. Captain Kim of the science vessel New Horizon. Captain Johnson of the supply ship Endless Journey. And finally, Captain Zhang of the stealth reconnaissance ship Shadow Walker. Commander Zex stared at the multiple human faces on his screen. 5 ships against 9. You still cannot win. Captain Park laughed. Commander, you're still not understanding. Sarah, show him what we mean. Sarah nodded to Jung-hoon. Full sensor sweep. Show them all our ship's real capabilities. The sensors revealed the truth. The Lightning Strike wasn't just fast. It was carrying experimental weapons. The New Horizon had defensive systems that could protect multiple ships. The Endless Journey wasn't just carrying supplies. It had manufacturing equipment that could build weapons and ammunition during battle. The Shadow Walker had been watching the alien ships for hours, mapping their weaknesses. We call it a wolf pack strategy, Sarah explained to the stunned alien commander. Each ship has a different role, but together we're much stronger than the sum of our parts. Seseoyan looked up from her controls. Captain, the Lightning Strike is in position. Captain Rodriguez says he's ready. On the communication screen, Captain Rodriguez grinned. Those alien ships have been sitting still for too long. Time to wake them up. The Lightning Strike appeared suddenly near the alien formation. It had approached so fast that the Zarkonian sensors barely detected it. The small human ship fired a spread of experimental missiles that didn't explode. Instead, they attached to the alien ship's hulls and began jamming their communications. What are those things? Zex demanded as his ship's systems began malfunctioning. Communication scramblers, Sarah explained. Now your ships can't coordinate with each other. Jung-hoon, are you picking up their internal communications? Yes, Captain. They're confused and starting to panic. Their formation is breaking apart. Captain Zhang's voice came over the communication system. Sarah, I've been studying their ships for the past 3 hours. Their weapon systems have a charging cycle of 47 seconds. If we time our attacks right, we can hit them while they're defenseless. Commander Zex's image was flickering on the screen as his ship's systems struggled with the jamming devices. This is not honorable combat. You use tricks and deception. We use intelligence, Captain Kim corrected from the New Horizon. Commander, your ships are designed to fight enemies who attack directly. Humans fight smarter, not harder. The alien ships were now scattered and unable to communicate properly. Some tried to target the fast human ships, but the vessels moved in coordinated patterns that made targeting impossible. Captain Johnson's supply ship, Endless Journey, moved into position. Sarah, we're deploying defensive drones. They'll create a shield wall between us and their heavy weapons. Hundreds of small drones poured out of the supply ship, forming a protective barrier. The Zarkonian ships fired their red energy beams, but the drones absorbed or deflected most of the damage. 6 ships, Sarah said to Commander Zex, working together like a pack of wolves, each one covering the other's weaknesses. This is how humans survive in a dangerous galaxy. Zex's ship was now surrounded by the human fleet. His remaining vessels were scattered, confused, and unable to coordinate their attacks. Impossible, he whispered. We are the superior race. We have bigger ships, more powerful weapons. But you don't have teamwork, Sarah replied. And Commander, we're just getting started. Jung-hoon, contact Earth Command. Tell them we found something interesting out here. Jung-hoon smiled as he worked his controls. Message sent, Captain. And Captain, Earth Command wants to talk to Commander Zex personally. Zex's expression changed from anger to worry. Earth Command? Commander Zex's face went pale as the words Earth Command echoed through his ship's bridge. Around him, his crew looked nervous. Even the mighty Zarkonian Empire had heard stories about Earth's military command. Earth Command wants to speak with me? Zex asked, his voice no longer confident. Sarah nodded calmly. They're very interested in meeting new civilizations, Commander, especially ones that attack human ships without provocation. The main screen flickered as a new signal came through. The image that appeared made Commander Zex step backward. Admiral James Morrison of Earth Command filled the screen, a tall man with gray hair and steel blue eyes that had seen many battles. Commander Zex of the Zarkonian Empire, Admiral Morrison said in a voice that carried absolute authority. I am Admiral Morrison. We need to talk. Admiral, Zex stammered. This is ... unexpected. I'm sure it is. Captain Shun, report. Sarah stood at attention. Admiral, we encountered 12 Zarkonian warships attempting to capture our vessel. They claimed this space as their territory and demanded our surrender. Admiral Morrison's expression didn't change, but somehow he looked more dangerous. 12 warships against 1 exploration ship. That seems excessive for a first contact situation. Commander Zex tried to regain his composure. We were protecting our territory from invaders. Your territory? Admiral Morrison raised an eyebrow. Commander, this system is an unclaimed space according to galactic law. Are you saying the Zarkonian Empire is expanding without proper documentation? Jung-hoon whispered to Captain Shun. The Admiral did his homework fast. On his ship, Commander Zex was receiving urgent messages from his crew. His communications officer, a thin alien named Zircon, leaned close to whisper something that made Zex's eyes grow wider. What is it, Commander? Admiral Morrison asked. Your crew seems upset. My ... My sensors are detecting more human ships, Zex said slowly. Admiral Morrison smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. Ah, yes, the Third Fleet. They were on training exercises nearby when Captain Shun sent her message. How many ships are you reading, Commander? Zex's hands shook as he checked his displays. 47 ships, including battlecruisers. 50 ships, actually, Admiral Morrison corrected. 3 of them are running in stealth mode. We wanted to see if your sensors could detect our latest technology. Captain Park spoke from the Earth's hammer. Admiral, the alien ships are powering down their weapons. Smart move, Admiral Morrison said. Commander Zex, let me explain something about humans. We prefer peace, but we're very good at war when necessary. Your empire made a mistake today. Commander Zex looked around desperately. His 12 ships were scattered and disabled. The 6 human ships had outmaneuvered them completely. And now 50 more human warships were approaching. What ... What do you want? Zex asked. First, you will apologize to Captain Shun and her crew for this unprovoked attack. Second, you will escort our ships safely out of this area. Third, you will arrange a proper diplomatic meeting between our civilizations. And if we refuse? Admiral Morrison's expression became ice cold. Commander, you attacked one of our exploration vessels. In human law, that's an act of war. Right now, I'm being diplomatic. Would you prefer I stop being diplomatic? The space around them filled with the lights of approaching human ships. The Third Fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and support vessels. They moved like a single organism, each ship knowing exactly where it belonged. Commander Zex watched the display in horror. So many ships ... This is just one fleet, Commander, Admiral Morrison said calmly. Earth has 12 active fleets, and we're building more. The galaxy is a big place. Sioyon looked up from her station. Captain, I'm receiving a message from the alien ships. They're requesting permission to power down completely and assume peaceful positions. Sarah looked at Admiral Morrison, who nodded slightly. Permission granted. Commander Zex, have your ships form a single line and prepare for escort duty. We will comply, Zex said weakly. Excellent. Commander, I want you to understand something. Today could have ended very differently. Captain Shun and her crew showed remarkable restraint. They could have destroyed your ships, but they chose not to. Jung-hoon smiled as he watched the alien ships forming a line. The Admiral's right, Commander. We don't like destroying things. Admiral Morrison continued. Humans believe in giving second chances. Commander Zex, this is yours. Use it wisely. Min Jun turned to Captain Shun. Admiral, what are our orders? Captain Shun will escort you safely to the edge of this system. Then you'll return to your empire and arrange proper diplomatic contact. No more surprise attacks, no more claims on neutral space. Commander Zex nodded slowly. It will be done, Admiral. Good? And Commander? Welcome to the galaxy. I hope our next meeting will be more pleasant. The screen flickered off, leaving Commander Zex staring at empty space. Around him, his crew began the humbling process of following human ships to safety. 3 hours later, the strange procession moved through space toward the edge of the system. 12 damaged Zarkonian warships flew in a careful line, escorted by 6 human vessels. The massive Third Fleet maintained a respectful distance, but their presence could be felt like thunder in the darkness. Commander Zex sat quietly in his command chair, watching the human ships move with perfect coordination. His communications officer, Zircon, approached him carefully. Commander, Zircon whispered, our analysts have been studying the human vessels. Their technology is ... remarkable. How so? Zex asked, though he wasn't sure he wanted to know. Their ships can transform, sir. Each vessel has multiple configurations. The exploration ship we attacked. It's also a light cruiser, a fast transport, and a mobile research station. All in one design. Zex closed his large black eyes. Adaptable. Like their tactics. On the bridge of Terra's Pride, Captain Shun was having a very different conversation with her crew. Jung-hoon was reviewing the sensor data from the encounter. Captain, I've been studying their ship designs, Jung-hoon said. The Zarkonian vessels are powerful, but they're built for one purpose, straight combat against slower targets. They've probably been successful against other species, Sarah replied. Most civilizations build specialized ships for civic roles. Min-jun looked up from his station. Captain, we're receiving a private communication request from Commander Zex. Sarah exchanged glances with her officers. Put him through. Commander Zex appeared on a small screen, looking very different from the proud alien who had threatened them hours before. His expression was thoughtful, almost curious. Captain Shun, he said slowly, may I ask you something? Go ahead, Commander. Why didn't you destroy my ships when you had the advantage? Your weapons could have crippled us completely. Sarah considered the question carefully. Because destruction wasn't our goal, Commander. We wanted to survive and protect ourselves. Once we achieved that, there was no need for more violence. But we threatened you. We tried to capture your vessel and enslave your crew. In Zarkonian culture, that requires revenge. Co-Yeon spoke up from her station. Commander, humans learned something important in our history. Revenge creates more problems than it solves. Zex tilted his head, confused. Then how do you maintain order? How do you show strength? Jung-hoon answered. We show strength by being strong enough to choose mercy when we could choose violence. Alien Commander was quiet for a long moment. This is difficult to understand. The Zarkonian Empire has conquered 17 species. All of them fought until they were destroyed or surrendered completely. And how did that work out? Sarah asked gently. We rule through fear. Conquered species serve us, but they hate us. There are constant rebellions. We spend most of our resources controlling our own empire. Min-jun leaned forward. Commander, what if there was a different way? What do you mean? Sarah stood up. Commander Zex, what if instead of conquering those 17 species, your empire had made them allies? Allies? Zex looked confused. But then they would not serve us. No, but they might choose to work with you. They might share their knowledge, their resources, their unique abilities. Not because they're forced to, but because it benefits everyone. Zircon, who had been listening quietly on Zex's bridge, suddenly spoke up. Commander, the humans have a point. The Altarian rebellion cost us 3 fleets last year. The vegan resistance destroyed 2 mining colonies. If those species were allies instead of slaves, Zex stared at his communications officer. You think the humans are right? I think the humans defeated us without destroying us, sir. That's something we've never seen before. Captain Shun smiled. Commander, humanity had many wars in our past. We learned that the strongest civilizations aren't built on conquest. They're built on cooperation. But how do you trust other species not to betray you? Jung-hoon answered, by giving them reasons to want you to succeed, instead of reasons to want you to fail. Yeon added, and by being strong enough to defend yourselves, but wise enough not to attack first. Commander Zex was quiet for several minutes. Finally, he spoke again. Captain Shun, when we reach the edge of the system, I will return to the Zarkonian Empire. I will tell them what I learned here. What will you tell them? That we encountered a species that could have destroyed us, but chose to teach us instead. That there might be a better way to be strong. Sarah nodded. That's all we can ask, Commander. Captain, Zek said, if our species meet again, I hope it will be as friends, not enemies. So do we, Commander. So do we. As the escort reached the edge of the system, the Zarkonian ships powered up their hyperspace engines. Commander Zex appeared one final time on the communication screen. Captain Chun, thank you for the lesson. Perhaps humans and Zarkonians can build something better together. The galaxy is big enough for all of us, Commander. Safe travels. The alien ships disappeared into hyperspace, carrying with them a new understanding of what it meant to be truly strong. The human ships turned back toward home, their mission of exploration having accomplished something even more important. They had planted seeds of peace in the darkness of space. The end. Asterisk.